Hey guys, going back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be continuing to take a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. And in the last video, in the last episode, we saw the development of the non-nuclear high-radius bombs by the Floridian country, and they shared this technology with their allies over here. We also saw Tanzania lose a majority of their land. One being Kenya, then Ethiopia, and then Somalia. We also saw New Zealand lose their area over here. So now we have Australia. Also, the Indonesian Unitarians got more land, which the people there wanted to be a part of them, but they didn't get that in the peace treaty. Also, we did hear about the dictators of the former leaders of some countries died, and they were given a proper burial for respect. So yeah, that was it. Now, focusing in back over here to Florida and their allies, they're continuing to develop more non-nuclear high-radius bombs. Now they have 10 non-nuclear high-radius bombs. They will get Panama. Panama will now have developed 2 more. Mexico would have developed 1 more, which means they have 3 non-nuclear high-radius bombs, and Cascadia also just gets 1 more. So something interesting to note that there were also some spies over here in Florida from a certain country. They found out that Florida has been working on a secret project with non-nuclear high-radius bombs, and they discovered how to make them. They will make 2 of those. Now an ally of Quebec has one. Quebec did not notice. For now, let's take a look at a war. Specifically between... actually, we're going to see this alliance being dissolved here. There's really no point, because they really didn't see any direct fighting, so I don't know why they would have this alliance now. So it's just going to be dissolved. For reasons we don't know. Jesus. Who knows why they are leaving? They dissolved this alliance. We'll have to see here in a bit. We'll see this here in a second. The reason why it's dissolved is because now they're fighting each other. Who's fighting who? Well, the Nordics are fighting each other. Specifically, Sweden is, they're not particularly strong, so, yep. So Norwegian troops will go straight into the country, taking over a majority of this area. Finland sees this as prime opportunity to get some of their old lands back. We can barely see that color. So they'll also send their forces in, meeting up with Norwegian forces. Now, how do they react to this? They don't have any hostile relations at all. But Finland will begin to march down towards the capital, and we see Germany also do much of the same, capturing tons of major cities. and meeting up with Norway. Germany takes the capital city of Sweden, and Sweden will surrender over to these forces. We can take a look at a peace treaty. So in the peace treaty, we see Finland gaining a whole bunch more land here. I have no idea what that noise is. Norway will be getting this land right here. Why did they get this? Well, they wanted to share a border with their Nordic brother, their Finnish brother. As for Germany, they just decided just to want more land. That was one war we had to see, because this was going to happen eventually. But the Alliance was gatekeeping this from happening, so... Now we're going to take a look at something else. We're going to see the triangle, the Star Alliance being dissolved. Also, their economical alliance gets dissolved because there's no purpose to this. This is only for defensive purposes only. Now that there's no more threats, they will go ahead and dissolve this alliance. So this alliance no longer exists. Egypt was the one who decided to dissolve this alliance. They just felt like it was necessary because there's no major threats for them. But yeah, now we're going to be taking a look at another war. This war is going to happen over here with Siberia. Baikal and Korea want to have a longer border spanning like this. I have no idea what I'm hearing right now. But they want to have a better border. But, Korea is hesitant. Baikal will say that it's necessary. And, Baikalian forces will enter into Siberian territory, taking all of these major cities right on the border. With Korea, we see them making their first move, heading straight for the capital city of Siberia and capturing it relatively quick. Now Siberia will call out to some nations, but no nations will respond to them. And Korea is gonna be able to take a whole bunch of land along their border. Eventually they meet up with Baikal forces. They begin to take over a lot of these lands. We also see Baikal make naval landings in these islands over here. And they also begin to take even more land over here. And they will take over this area right here, meeting up with more of the Korean forces. They will take this island right here, and they'll take this island, while Korea and Baikal will divide up this island right here. And we can take a look enact this peace treaty. Oh, what the flippity what? What? I don't know what I just said. But the Koreans and Baikal will establish their new border to look something like this. This was Korean land, and they decided to give it independence, but after a while, they just decided to get it back. Plus, their border with Baikal was a little small, so they decided to make it a lot better. And as for Baikal, they will get the rest of the country. I'm just gonna color in these islands real quick. Don't forget about that. It's been a while since we made a country from the Wixo series came into the real world, so I think I might do that soon enough. We have to do Korea, right? It's the right thing to do. But Korea is gonna leave the Square Alliance and the Triangle Economic Alliance. Why? Because they don't really care anymore. Plus, this alliance was for defensive purposes. So we see all the countries actually leave. Even Burma and the Red Team leave. Not before the Red Team leaves. Before the Red Team leaves, they will share the information that over here to their former allies. And turns out that they will help them develop 2 non-nuclear high-radius bombs before leaving. And this will actually dissolve this alliance completely. They had no purposes for this to continue to exist, so they decided to just dissolve this alliance before anything else happened. And this defensive pact no longer exists between the border here, so we can go ahead and get rid of that. But they still are close. They still share, they are still pretty close with each other. So that's why we saw this happening. Heading over here to this Russian country here, they are gonna get jumped. Well, by who? Well, their surrounding neighbors. That includes Baikal, Kazakhstan, and northern Russia. Since Baikal is right near their capital, they will send their forces in and take the capital city of this nation. They begin to take more and more areas of this nation, hoping to have a better border, because this just looks horrendous. So they will send their forces up and capture this entirety of this area. And Baikal is gonna win no matter what, because they are a pretty strong country. Some of their forces enter in over here, capturing major cities over here. But yeah, Baikal is pretty strong. They'll make a deal with Pakistan over here to rearrange this border because I don't like the way it looks. So these provinces will go over to Baikal just to make this border look more natural, a little more natural. They even sort this out with the blue team and the red team. Baikal will get this province. They kind of will have like a bit of border changes with the blue team right here. Because I decided I wanted to fix that. Even right here, this looks a little weird, so I'm just going to give that back to Baikal to even fix this area right here. Yeah, that looks a little better. Back over here to this war. Kazakhstan is a great military power still. So they send their forces in and to capture some land that was originally theirs. So we begin to see Kazakh forces going over and invading this area right here. What about northern Russia? Well, they're doing something. They are going to contribute. By that, I mean they're actually going to be invading this country. They take these islands over here. There's been a lot of changes in borders recently. But this country is just not very stable. And we see northern Russian forces capture all of this country area. And they begin to take over islands over here. We see Baikal meet up with these forces. Kazakhstan really doesn't care about being landlocked anymore. They just want to be a very good nation, developed nation. And that's what we see there. But we see more and more of this area falling over to Baikal. Their invading borders will look like this. Kazakhstan will continue to invade over here. And meeting over to here, and the rest of this will fall over to North Russia. And now we can take a look at a peace treaty. Right. Let's look at these border changes now. So Baikal will be taking these set of provinces right here, as well as the province right here on this island. And they will take this island right here. And they'll take all of this area right here, completing their country. Yes, this was their goal before. Because of the world wars that were happening, they decided just to wait. And wait, they do. And now their ambitions are finally complete. They have a better and more of a better border here. So that's nice for them. Kazakhstan will be annexing these provinces right here. Now these provinces were originally theirs, so that makes sense why. But they wanted these back. Because after the war, World War Five, World War Four, I actually just spoiled something. Oh my god. Yes, there is going to be a World War Five. Sorry, I forgot. I meant to say World War Four, but they did lose a ton of land, but they got it back. For North Russia, they will be annexing the rest of the country. They actually now share a border with Baikal, which is actually great for them because they can trade with Baikal. This actually looks great on the map. Going over here, down to Australia, which we haven't really been focusing on for a while now. But now we're going to focus on them again. These two countries right here, they declare war on each other for some reason. These guys will immediately go and blitz towards the capital city. They capture the capital, but they don't surrender. Because this country will send their forces this way. And they captured their capital city like this. We see these guys meet up with the border here. They are not defending this area, but instead they're going to go over this way. Focusing on this area first before defending. But now outside country, a country right on this border will get involved in the war and start taking land from this country right here. Which means they will have to divert their forces from this country, liberating the capital city. Which means now they can start their invasion. They were waiting for something to happen. And they meet up with this country's forces. And they start to invade throughout this country, here and stopping. They also begin to establish a border, a defensive line here. And we see this country take the rest of this golden country right here. And now we can take a look at a peace treaty. And in the peace treaty, this golden country ceases to exist, with this country getting these promises right here. Now, this is a move that was very confusing for the red team because they thought these guys were just gonna stay chill. Yes, the red team was watching this happen. They watch over this area to make sure nothing bad happens, and every time the gray country ceases to exist, or basically they just can't do a good job because sometimes the global war drags them away for this attention, and that leads to this happening. That also led for this to happen. I'm just gonna use it like this. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.